Hello everyone, welcome to the AS Masters Workshop. So, what do we have today? I actually hadn't planned to film this video. I had already started making this project. And then I decided that I should record it and show you what turns out. I'm doing this project for the first time. I only have the design plans. Meaning, here's what we've got. This will be a small wallet. The main piece is 20 centimeters by 8. Then inside we have 19 by 8. Here are the cut lines, about 8.7 centimeters each. And what else? Importantly, we're using leather for the lining. It needs to be thinner. Or any other thin leather, whichever works for you. Same size as this. I'll explain why later. Next is the coin pocket, 7 by 8 centimeters. And naturally, the flap for the coin pocket is 8 by 4.5 centimeters. And 4 by 4.1 centimeters around the edges. As you can see, I've already cut the pieces to size. This is our outer size. This is the inner size. This is already prepared. This area here is cut for card slots. Here I've drawn lines for stitching the lining along with the main piece. That way, you stitch it so the card won't slide all the way down. And here we stitch between them so they don't shift. That's why we need the lining, so we can put cards here. Instead of leather lining, you can use Tyvek or vegan leather. But I'm using only leather. If I make leather goods, I make leather goods 100%. Our piece will be held together by magnets. Neodymium magnets. So we need to glue these magnets. If they connect like this, it means we glue them with opposite polarity. So that the magnets don't interfere with our cards. Then we do this around them. We glue this little piece here. So that cards can slide in freely. And don't get blocked by each other. And we do the same on the other side. Next, we glue the edge up to where the cards reach. And paste underneath to reinforce it. After gluing, be sure to check that everything worked out. Test with cards that everything fits. And neatly. Then trim any excess that's left. And move on to the next step. Don't forget to put 2 cards in. And check the magnets. If it closes well, it means everything was done correctly. In this project, I'm using a 4mm stitching chisel. And spacing 3mm from the edges. Here, the middle. To get a nice seam, you need to stitch from here through the holes. They're all 3 mm. If there's any slight misalignment, we simply level it out by stitching. And punch through. Here we make the same edge spacing. On the 4th hole. And on the 4th here. We punch here as well. And stitch. Next, we need to stitch this part. This part. And maybe this last section, too. I'm using white thread for stitching. And if you want, you can stitch this final row. After stitching everything here, an interesting step awaits. We need to cut out these two pieces. Two small pieces. They're needed to make the coin pocket high quality. They weren't specified in my pattern, so now I'll explain their dimensions. So, the top is 3.8 cm. Height of one straight side is 7.5 cm. The slanted side is 8 cm. The bottom width is 1.8 cm. This means one side is straight, the other is angled. This is to make it easier to use the coin pocket. Now we need to place the coin pouch here. The flap pocket. And obviously, these parts will be here. That's to make the coin pocket easy to use. Let's punch the holes. Alright, holes are all punched. And here I've sewn on these wings I mentioned. I made a slight mistake in size. There was a bit extra. But that's easily trimmed with scissors. You can remove about half a centimeter based on the dimensions I mentioned earlier. Now our task is to attach here and here. Here we'll put the snap. Install the snap here. And here too. Of course, then we stitch all of that. And install. We stitch this, too. And here's the hole for the snap. It'll look like this. Now, on the other side. We bring the snap close to where we'll place it. And punch it the same way. To do this we can use the dimensions from that part. We align it precisely. We consider this the point we'll stitch. And snap it in. We punched, installed snaps. I've already started stitching this. It should look like this. First stitch here. And here. And then the straight part is stitched over. Next, what we need. Now we need to finally stitch this part fully. Continue stitching here. And that completes the stitching phase. I put on these binder clips. So that these little wings, of the coin pocket, stay flat. Just for aesthetics. So I put them on so they don't stick out. You can remove them. The coin pocket works like this. You can even reach in with your fingers to grab a coin. Here's the view. Now you can engrave something here. Some design. And inside like this, 2 cards. The main compartment. And a coin pocket. That's the beauty we ended up with. You could say the experiment was a success. A new model is now in the lineup. A small, neat wallet. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. And don't forget the bell, so you can get notifications about new uploads. Bye.